Hi, Leo. What is up with you guys? Let's go ahead and knock out your extended reading here tonight, okay? Extended reading for October 2024. Basically, all this really is one last swoop across the table to make sure I didn't leave any crumbs of information. Because we're going to be moving on to the mid-month messages next. And we got to make sure every crumb is swept off the table before we look at the mid-month. So I don't have any announcements to make, y'all. For those of you who would like a personal reading, just check the description of this video. That's where you'll find everything you need to know. Don't forget, the description of this video, that's the only way to schedule a personal reading with me. I am not going to reach out to you on social media or in the comments of these videos asking you if you want a reading. The only way to get a reading from me is through my website, tarotwithrich.com. That's in the description of this video, okay? All right, let's hop on into this. I highly doubt many of you are going to get notified tonight. This is my 4th live stream, but I'm not going to wait around. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so the person that you're interested in, let's see. What is happening? What is happening between Leo and the person they're interested in? Let's see. Anything happening in October? Is a love offer going to be made? Is a new relationship happening? Ooh, 4 cups reversed. Hang on a second. This person may decide that they don't want to pass up on this opportunity. Oh, okay, I see. They're waiting until it's too late. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I am thinking that this person is passing on this opportunity. And then once it's too late, they regret it. You know that old saying, you don't realize what you got till it's gone. You don't realize what opportunity you had until it's no longer available, you know? Well, that's what I'm feeling like is happening. You know what, though? It feels to me kind of like maybe they have a decision between you and somebody else, and they're really leaning towards the somebody else. And then the somebody else turns out to be nothing any better than you. They probably end up finding out that they should have picked you over whoever else this is. Because, you know, there's some people out there who would rather get with the quickest, fastest, easiest, most convenient person rather than the person that can actually add value to their life. You know, give you an example. I'm not saying this is how it's happening. I'm just giving you an example. So imagine this person has a choice between you and somebody else. Now you live all the way over on the other end of town and you work 6 days a week. You're goal-oriented. You know, you got a good little chunk of change in the bank. You got some goals for the future. You're working on starting a business, you know. So to be with you, I'd have to step my game up. I'd have to really step up my game. And it would be challenging for me to bring value to your life, you know. But then there's this other person that lives around the block from me who is a lazy, unemployed, drug addicted, alcoholic piece of shit living with their mama, you know, and that's quick and easy. So, you know what? You kind of intimidate me a little bit. I'm going to go with this person. It's quicker. It's easier. I ain't got to step my game up. I just jump right in. Bam. Easy. But then I end up finding out that that was a big mistake. I should have picked you. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That's kind of energetically, I'm not saying that those are the exact, circumstances behind the situation, but vibrationally, that's what this situation feels like. Oh, and speaking of drug addiction and alcoholism, some of you could be dealing with somebody that might have a little bit of a problem. Well, let me dig their feelings up deeper and see how they feel about you at the deepest level. How's this person feel about Leo at the deepest level? Okay, yeah, see, hang on. Could be a Libra for some of you. And they find you very attractive. Extremely. They are really super into you. Like super into you. I think they just may. What? So, okay, hang on. I almost want to say that they're intimidated, but that's not really the word that I want to use. There may be a little bit of intimidation in there, but there's another word that's like right at the tip of my tongue. It's kind of like the sister or the cousin to intimidation, but where they know they would have to step up their game, and it's not that it intimidates them. What's that word? Well, I guess I can just use the word intimidated because it's a very similar energy to what I'm thinking of. But, so they're kind of a little bit intimidated by you. It's like they know that they would really, really, really have to step up their game and bring value to the fucking table to be a part of your life. And they just may not have the self-confidence, even if it looks like it. I feel like a lot of you are dealing with somebody that really makes it look like they got self-confidence. Like it may really seriously, they really may seriously appear to be very confident, but I don't think they are. I don't think they are at all. Well, what's the advice? Let's see the advice here. What's the advice for Leo? I guess y'all aren't getting notified, huh? Any of y'all get notified at all? Let me know. It wouldn't surprise me because this is my 4th live stream. So what surprises me is when I do my first live stream and nobody gets notified. That's when I get pissed. But YouTube usually stops notifying after the 3rd one. Let's see how this person feels about Leo. See, I told you. Oh, no, we're getting the advice here, aren't we? Okay. Well, this is how they see you. This is how they feel about you. You intimidate them. Okay, let's get the advice. What advice do we have? Hey, I mean, hang on. If they end up rejecting this, once you slam the door shut, don't open it back up. If it really gets to that point where a final decision has to be made, even if you've been patiently waiting, giving this person chances, and then it finally gets to that point where it's like, all right, fine, deuces. Don't turn back around. Don't turn back around. Because honestly, for a lot of you, I don't think you and this person have a contract. Or at least if you have a soul contract, it's not romantic. I haven't seen any karmic energy come through this whole spread here. So for the few of you who did have some karma with this person that did not involve a long-term romantic relationship, was not in the karmic contract, wasn't in your soul contract, period, whether it was karmic or not. So the next person that is due to come in will honestly make you look back on this person and be thankful that you didn't get stuck in that situation. But yeah, they're going to regret this, though. They are going to regret it, but oh well, it is what it is. I think it's supposed to go down like that anyways. Damn, dog. All right. All right, now we're going to take another look at the past person. Any other crumbs of information we can tell Leo about the person from the past? Anything I missed? Anything I left out? Any stones unturned? Anything else we can tell Leo about the person from the past? Ooh, Page of Cups. Some of y'all might end up hearing from this person. They're contemplating it. They are seriously contemplating it. But that death card is there, though. So we got the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. I'm thinking that closure is going to happen here. I'm thinking closure is happening because of the death card. Could be a Scorpio for some of you. But I do feel like the silence will be broken. But I'm not really seeing, even though I'm going to dig into this person's feelings here in a minute. I think they do have more feelings than they're letting on. Neither of you are showing each other emotion at all. Neither of you. You ain't showing them no emotion. They ain't showing you no emotion. I'm feeling like closure is happening here. Because here's you. That's you standing on business. Okay. They're a little bit apprehensive to come forward because they're afraid that you're mad at them. But I'm thinking closure is happening here. Let's look at their intentions, their deepest intentions. What's their feelings at the deepest level? What's their feelings at the deepest level? Yeah, they want to clear the air with you. They don't want no more bad blood with you. Do they love you? Do they miss you? Do they want to be with you? Whoops. One more. Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of it, I think they do wish that it would have worked out, but they're accepting the fact that it didn't, but they still want to clear the air with you. Like whatever happened when you all parted ways has been weighing on them very heavily, right? And I think they want that burden lifted off their chest. At the end of the day, do they have feelings for you? Yes, I think so. Do they wish it would have worked out? Yes, I think so. But are they trying to actually get back with you? No, I don't think so. I think they're just trying to clear the air. Trying to clear the air with you. So at least, they can let go of this, release this, and, move on with their life. Actually, honestly, looks pretty solid to me. This is one of the most rock solid past person readings I've done in a minute. Rock solid meaning I'm not seeing no fuckery. I'm not seeing no shitty, shady intentions. Now, maybe there was at one point. Not saying there never was, but I'm not seeing that now. Looks pretty damn solid to me. Well, let's see how this situation plays out then. What's the outcome? What is the outcome? What's the outcome? Okay, well, yeah, death card here. I am feeling like you're going to get closure, but it may not feel right. It may feel kind of weird, may feel a little bit forced, might make you feel a little bit awkward and weird and uncomfortable, but I do think closure is happening. One thing you're going to notice, though, is that as soon as you get this closure with this person, that's going to alter the trajectory of your path just enough to where now the open doors of opportunity are really going to start popping open. As soon as you have this conversation with this person, fucking love offers are going to start coming in left and right. Left and right. And as long as you're tuned in and you're not being too silly about it, you may end up attracting long-term commitment once you close this out and release this. That sounds pretty solid. Does that need advice? I don't think it needs advice. Got to pull an advice spread though, just to be practical. I don't think it needs advice though. It sounds like y'all got it under control. Let's just see though. Let's just in case. There may be advice that I just haven't thought of. If it was just me, like if I was personally coaching you, I wouldn't give you advice. I'd be like, nah, you got this under control. But maybe there is some advice that Spirit wants to give you, maybe. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles reversed. No, I didn't think so. Death card. This is going to play out the way that it should. It's going to play out the way that it should. It probably won't feel very comfortable. It probably will be a little bit weird and a little bit awkward. But just be the bigger person. Do what you got to do. Apologize for anything you need to apologize for. Accept any apologies that they give you. Forgive them for anything that you need to forgive them for. And do all that good shit, even though it feels weird and it feels awkward, you know. Go ahead and do it anyways, because I'm telling you, the sooner that you can let the tower burn to the ground and sweep up that mess, clean up all the debris, and clear the way for a new tower to be built, that's when the universe is going to bring you somebody that you can build a rock solid foundation for the next tower. The next tower ain't going to come crashing down. But you got to let this old one burn to the ground and clean up that mess first. All right? Okie dokie. Now let's just look at some general messages. General, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. General messages for Leo. General messages for Leo. Ace of Swords. Boom, 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 boom. Emperor reverse. Hang on. Some of y'all could be having issues with your dad, possibly. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well. So somebody you fell out with. I do think there's going to be an open door of opportunity for you to connect with somebody that you fell out with. Now, I'm getting real strong family vibes here. Okay. More specifically, for some of you, it's your dad. I know that's not all of you, though. The first thing that I look at, though, on a general spread like this, is whether or not it's a friend or family. Okay. That's the first thing I look at. I'm immediately getting family from this spread right here. But whoever the first person is that comes to your mind when I say that, there's going to be an open door of opportunity for you to clear the air with this person. They know what they want to say to you, but I think they're a little bit too afraid to approach you. I think so. They know what they want to say, though. They know exactly what they want to say. But they're still just kind of hanging back, waiting for the right opportunity. It's still weighing on them very heavily. It's bothering them. See, family vibes, man. This is family vibes to me. Again, first person that comes to your mind when I say this, but I think 60 to 75% of the Leos that need to hear this message feels like a family member you fell out with. But yeah, they're still a little bit hesitant to come forward, though. They're a little bit hesitant to come forward. So they may not. They may not be coming forward. Some of you, the situation could have happened due to drugs and alcohol, possibly. All right, well, let's get some general advice. General advice for the Leo family. General advice. Hierophant reverse. Hang on. Oh, yeah. I haven't given this advice in a minute. Okay. Okay, I like that. All right. Okay. All right. Well, where do I start with this? Okay, so now those of you who got the course in my school before I shut that down, the course, The True Steps to Healing, would have pretty much covered this. But to try to summarize this in a nutshell for the video here, your ability to release, let go of, heal from anything that happened in your past, cut a karmic contract, and manifest at the same time, your key to being able to do that with anything that's ever happened to you in your life rests in your ability to trust your own beliefs. And I know you've heard things like this tossed around the spiritual community a lot. But I make it my life's work to try to take the cute, fluffy little phrases that everybody says in the spiritual community that honestly nobody really fucking understands, right? And I try to break it down and make it understandable. So I'm gonna take a couple of phrases that you've heard a million times in the spiritual community and make you understand them, okay? So the one that used to irritate the shit out of me when I was new on my path is when I would hear people say, all the answers are inside of you. You have all of the answers. Now, that sounds cute. And, you know, if you're on a spiritual path, you know, you might be inclined to want to repeat cute little phrases like that. But do you really understand what that means? Can you really fully wrap your mind all the way around that and comprehend that and understand that 100%? Most people don't. And I don't blame you. I didn't either. It took me 3 fucking years to understand what that meant. 3 years of manifesting my wildest fucking dreams before I realized what that meant. It hit me like a ton of bricks one day. I was like, dude, I know what that means now. When they say all the answers are inside of you, what that means is whatever I choose to believe the answer is what the fucking answer is. The most persistent and convincing illusion of this matrix is that there is an objective answer that exists outside of you that somebody else knows that you don't. That is such a convincing illusion, and it's such a persistent illusion too. But guess what? In reality, it's not the way that it works. The way it works is whatever you choose to believe the answer is what the answer is. So what if you don't believe you know the answer? Then what? Then what? Well, then there is no answer. So you are the only being in this entire universe who is capable of and responsible for assigning a meaning to the things that happen to you in your life. You're the only one that gets to do that. If something happened to me 5 years ago, and I'm the only being responsible for deciding why it happened, and I don't bother doing that, then what is it? It's unresolved, unfinished business, which is what turns into karma. It's what turns into karma. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go about doing this. A couple of different ways. If you would really rather not talk to this person, I'm kind of feeling like a lot of you would really rather not. A lot of you would really rather not. You don't have to. You can close it out within your own heart and mind. I'll tell you the way I like to do it. Okay, I'm going to tell you a couple of different ways you can do this. Now, disclaimer. My way of doing it is going to require that you have a really solid, tight, trust-based relationship with the universe. Okay, so if you struggle with that, you'll probably struggle with this. But I like to just step back and let the universe show me. Now, that is not nearly as easy to do as it is to talk about. But like, let's say, God forbid, something happens to me tomorrow. Knock on wood. I hope not, but you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Let's say something happens to me tomorrow. Something that goes against everything that I had planned. Something that's not fucking cool. I'll take a step back and I'll be like, all right then, universe, dude. All right. I don't know why the fuck you just did that. But I do know one thing. You're not an idiot. And every time you do something, you do it for a reason. I just can't begin to wrap my mind around what that reason would be. I look forward to the day that you show me why you did that. See, when you're talking to the universe, you're talking to your higher self. That's you. You're still the one creating it. And I like to just step back and release it. Now, that sounds really easy. Wait until you're in the middle of a situation. That's not fucking easy. And when I say step back and release it, I'm not talking about for a couple of days. I'm not talking about for a couple of weeks. I'm talking for months, possibly years. It's taken me upwards of 3 years before the universe has shown me why it did something. 3 years. Now, that's tricky. It's easy to talk about when you're not going through nothing, but when you're in the middle of something, that's fucking hard to do. because you get all caught up in your emotions, you know? Well, it should have happened like this. It shouldn't have happened like that. This is what was supposed to happen. That's what should have happened. You know, we get caught up in all of our shoulda, coulda, wouldas and our emotions and our bias and this and that. And that'll block it. That'll get in the way and completely block it. So if you want, you can actually create a meaning. You can create a meaning. And there's unlimited numbers of ways that you can do this, but I came up with a 3-step process that you can use. You can do it however you want. As long as the end goal is met, you can do it however the fuck you want. But if you do it like this, it'll work. I've done this before. There's been a couple of times that I've had a difficult time staying patient while the universe works its magic and shows me what the fuck it's up to. So I'll go through a 3-step process. Step number 1, I need to think of at least one thing that I learned about myself from that experience with that person. What did that teach me about me? Okay. Step number 2, once I figure out one thing that I learned about me, I take that thing that I learned and I start applying it to my life. I start applying it to my life. And I do this with such dedication and consistency that it actually starts to produce positive results in my life. Now, here's the important part. Once that starts to happen, once you can actually point to real, genuine, tangible results that start happening in your life that are a direct result of the work that you've done that stems from what you learned from that situation. You take these new results and you tie them to the experience. Now, I redefine the meaning behind why that happened, and I express gratitude. Once you're genuinely feeling gratitude, that's when the energy is transmuted and it's released. Healing, releasing, and moving on doesn't just mean let go, move on, and I forgot about it. That's not truly, genuinely healing and releasing. You've truly, genuinely healed from and released something when you're able to look back on something that happened and be glad it happened. That's when you're able to take a look back and be like, dude, that's so fucking cool. That is so awesome. I'm so glad that happened that way. If that didn't happen that way, then this would not have happened this way. That is so fucking badass, dude. I'm glad that happened. I wouldn't go back and change that or do anything differently for anything in the world. That's when you're truly healed. And you know you've all done that at least once in your life. We've all done that at least once. It's usually by accident, right? You know, something may have happened 10 years ago. You know, got your heart broke by somebody or something. Could have been anything. And at the time, it was painful. It was hurtful. You know, it was confusing. And then years passed, years, way later on down the line. And then one day, 5 years, 10 years later, you're just kind of thinking back on the situation. And then it's like the universe shines a light on it. And you really get to thinking about it. And you're like, yeah, but you know what, though? If that didn't happen that way, then this wouldn't have happened this way. And that wouldn't have happened this way. And this wouldn't have happened that way. And I wouldn't be here. If I actually got what I wanted back then, my life would suck right now. I'm so fucking glad that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. That's happened to all of us at least once. You have the ability to consciously and intentionally do that with anything that has ever happened to you in your life, as long as you trust in the power of your own beliefs and perceptions. All right. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Leo family needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. I'm out of here now, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.